Okay, hello everybody, and welcome back to another Valhalla Camp Hill Valorant live stream. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we tune in tonight. Of course, as I previously said, we will be watching some Valorant. We will be watching Smite tonight. A little bit of a tougher match for them. They're going to be up against Esporterz OPS. It looks like it could be a pretty even match. I don't know exactly what division Esporterz team is in, but average rank and everything right around Smite team, so could definitely be a very intense match. Obviously, we saw last week that insane comeback, ending up beating Affinity, almost reverse sweeping them in the sense of a single match. So absolutely massive game for them. I was able to talk to a lot of the players before the match. A lot of them are still on that high from that game, still riding that momentum. So as long as they calm down, can lock in, and can keep that momentum on their backs, I anticipate we're going to see a really good match tonight. Nitro also having a match tonight, being against Say Las Vegas. Going to be a tough match for them, facing normally a Division 3 team, which is the division that Smite is in. So definitely a tough match for them. Definitely can take some rounds, potentially upset a win. But Nitro is really going to have to hunker down and grind out to be able to secure that win. But, ladies and gentlemen, first and most importantly, let me introduce the team really quickly as I kind of get my mouse here set up. Okay, so, ladies and gentlemen, of course, leading the IGL role, the captain of the team for tonight, the man, the myth, the legend. We know him, we love him, Evan, a.k.a. Thunder. Someone that we saw that last week against Affinity, he struggled the first couple rounds. Struggled to lock in, struggled to calm down and find his game, and as soon as he could, he started to pop back off, started to lead his team back into a victory. So expect big things from him. Of course, next up we have Raptor, aka Colin, the GOAT, the prodigy. Colin's been working hard, he's been grinding a lot. He's another one that needs to really just be able to lock in, to find some early kills to get that momentum going for him. And we saw the same thing from him last week. The same thing we saw from Evan. Struggled a little bit in the early rounds and started to get that momentum behind him, and it completely flipped the script. Next up, we have Cerebral Ray, a.k.a. Lynn. The Clutch Queen herself is her new nickname. Unfortunately, she is not in person tonight. She's going to be playing from home, but always excited to see Lynn play. Lynn does such a good job at playing her role. Such a fantastic person to watch play. Something that we love to see. Next up, making his debut on the debut, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of pressure on him tonight. He's going to have to clutch up for the team. Penguin, a.k.a. Eric. Someone that's been working hard, especially since he's made the switch to Val. He climbed up the ranks pretty quickly. A lot of pressure on him tonight on the debut, trying to fill that 5th spot on the Smite team. It's up for grabs right now. Could Eric be the one to get it? We don't know. We're going to see how it goes tonight. And finally, lastly, but most certainly not least, The Rock, the former IGL for this team, the glue that holds them together, Animal Team, a.k.a. Eevee. Obviously, very crucial for this team, someone that needs to be playing good, and when she is playing good, this team feeds off that energy. Even when she's struggling, still doing her best to keep that mental up, keep her teammates elevated so that way that they can win. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a very close match, and any minute now, we are going to be getting started. Ladies and gentlemen, we are first starting with Lotus, oh my gosh, we are starting tonight with the map Lotus, so will be a little interesting. Smite, a team that actually prefers this map, likes this map quite a bit, so we could see some early favoring in the side of Smite. Of course, defense first for Smite as well, a team that loves to play defense, which is kind of surprising if we were judging it just based off of last week's match. Obviously, we saw a much stronger attack from Smite last week, which is something that I know Coach Ben is hoping to continue to build on, continue to work on, so that way this is a very even team, very balanced team. Ladies and gentlemen, we are just about to get started. I am just waiting on the okay from Coach Ben to jump into the match. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm so excited. I hope you guys enjoy Valorant. I know I enjoy Valorant. And there's nothing more that I like to do than come up here and get to cast for you guys, really. So as we wait a little bit here, I want to talk about the stream last night. Obviously, we saw some Marvel Rivals last night, and for those of you that maybe don't tune in or forget, Marvel Rivals will now be on Wednesdays. Of course, Rocket League also has the potential to be streamed. Those are the two main games that get streamed on Wednesdays, so keep an eye out for either of those games. And we're live every Wednesday, and Mondays, of course, we have Fortnite. And ladies and gentlemen, Tuesdays right now, unfortunately, we are struggling to find teams, but hopefully now we will have enough for a Overwatch team and potentially Apex, with Apex potentially moving to Tuesdays. So be prepared. I know streams are on a little bit of a break, a little bit of a delay on Tuesdays, but we will be good to go. And ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be getting underway here in just a minute. Just waiting for the R's to go into chat from Esporterz, and we are so excited. And here we go. The game is underway, ladies and gentlemen. Let's watch some Valorant. Again, as I said, starting on Lotus, and very quickly, looks like we have a lot of hovering very quickly, already locking in. Smite is ready tonight. No need to delay it. We have Evan on the Raze, Lynn on the Cypher, Colin on the Clove, Evie on the Gecko, and Eric on the Phoenix. Ladies and gentlemen, a traditional two duelist comp here. Something that we almost haven't seen in a while. Actually, I correct myself. We see it pretty normally. Coach Ben not wanting to experiment too much, not wanting to take too many risks, at least against a team that that Smite will have to fight against. So we are all fully locked in here now, just waiting for Esporterz to pick their agents. And of course, once I get that information, I will absolutely relay it to you guys as well. A little bit of a different thing, or a different pick that we're seeing here is Evan on the Raze. Now, he was actually favoring, he wanted to play Raze. He was asking Coach Ben, saying, Coach Ben, can I play Raze? And Coach Ben gave him the okay. Now, Esporterz team comp. Looks like we have the Omen, the ISO, the Fade, the Jet, and the KJ. A very similar style of comp. We see the two duelist comp, very traditional style of comp. So no real surprises, nothing really shocking, no experimenting going on from either of these two coaches. And ladies and gentlemen, we are into it, we are live. Let's see how Smite is going to start this game off with some good, solid defense. Right now, currently have a 3-1-1 split. Looks like we're going to swap that up to a 2-2-1 split. Could anticipate a little bit of a rush here early. Will really depend on what Esporterz does. With them being attack first, they can set the tone. Smite needs to make sure that they are ready to catch them out. We see a big grenade come out from Evan, and he's going to take the alt point. Some shots fired through the smoke. Looks like we do have some noise at A. Looks like Evan's going to find a couple shots. Does do a jump peek. He sees one. I believe that was the Jet that he saw. And he's going to decide to back up and play with Evie here. Eric going down quickly through mid, through connector. I think we could potentially see a rotate to B. Looks like they're all still going to come A. Evan getting wall banged right there, taking some damage. We see the Omen smoke come up from Esporterz. See a little bit of a rotate here. Anticipate the rotating to B. Lynn picking up the Jet. We're going to go to Lynn. She's by herself, pushing, kind of pinching down on this B site. We anticipate that Spike is down on B. Lynn's going to pick up the Ghost. Team is starting to make engagement in there. Colin is fully in sight. Can't find anybody. Evan finding a kill. Smite currently having the advantage. We're going to see some smokes come through. Could potentially see a tap. No one is sticking quite yet, trying to play time. Evan's going to find one. Evan's going to then get traded. Unfortunately, the Omen running through their smoke caught a bunch of them off guard on Spike. Lin going to tap, and unfortunately cannot get the clutch. And we see the ace for the Omen. Smite there played a very good round until the very end. Unfortunately, that Omen just turning it on with a insane flank. Such good patience from him, waiting for all of us to commit to main B. And then that Omen smoke, and he just uses it so well. I anticipate we're going to see a very similar setup every round on defense. Yet again, the 2-2-1. Lin, I know, has the lineups on that C site. She loves to go over there. She feels confident by herself. We see the grenade come out. No one's A. We see Evan doing some jump peeks. Doesn't find anybody. Lin currently sitting in Cam. Let's see if we find anyone C. Looks like she does. Cam is going to get destroyed, but she does find two. And we see so much util come out. Lin unfortunately whiffs the shots. Can't find the jet. The rest of the team now going to collapse. Finding Colin. He's going to be the first one to make a touch onto point. He's going to smoke out. Going to shoot through the Omen smoke a little bit. He does have Eevee with him. A good push from Smite as they are spread out but together all at the same time. Looks like Evan going to find a couple on the flank. Doesn't find any kills yet though. We're going to see the ISO shield come through. No peeks yet. We see some jumps. Evan can't find the ISO. Jet getting 2, 3 for the round, and KJ cleaning it up. A flawless round from Esporterz. This is very similar to what we saw last game last week. We saw Smite struggle in some of these early rounds, struggle really the first half again, which is surprising, especially because typically they are a defensive-sided team, a defensive-heavy team. And it looks like we are forced full buying here on round 3. Kind of surprising. I know Coach Ben has been working on them with that a little bit. Let's see what they're going to do here. We see Evan 2 away from the ultimate. He is going to pick up that ult point, so now just 1. If he could find a kill, we could see an ult from Evan this round. We see some shots through the smoke. We're going to see the Omen smoke, so we anticipate they're going to come A. See Evan taking a lot of shots through the smoke. Eevee playing in the smoke. Does decide to back up. Looks like one of them B. Omen actually is B. He's going to find Colin. Eric now there by himself. KJ also contesting Lin at C. Looks like a bit of a split push this comp as Evan starts to swing his way over to B. We could see a C push. No confirmation yet. Eevee's going to go down on A site. Go back to Evan. Spike is down A. Evan's going to find the ISO but can't get the kill. Just Lin and Eric. They need to make sure they're playing together. Eric getting really aggressive. And unfortunately, he is going to go down to the fade. Just Lin by herself. And unfortunately, cannot find a kill. Smite need to calm down. They need to figure something out. And it has to be now. I know Coach Ben has been working with the IGLs of this team, making sure that they can handle not as much coaching scenarios in game, especially with some upcoming tournaments. Looks like we're going to see a very similar setup. We do see someone A. Eevee not finding the shot though. Gonna blind. Doesn't swing. See a lot of shots come through that Colin smoke, the clove smoke. Eevee gonna hold a peek there. Doesn't find anybody. Looks like we have a bunch C. Lin by herself waiting for her team to collapse on her. She sees the ISO, able to get out with the wall though from the Phoenix. A lot of noise going on inside. Eric being the first one down, not finding a kill. Colin being vulnerable, doing his best to hold. A lot of shots going on. Colin unable to find one there. Everyone missing. Jet on 4. Can she find the ace? And she does. Wow. That is 2 aces on the side of Esporterz in 4 rounds, ladies and gentlemen. They have got to be feeling good. And Smite has got to not be feeling good. They need to figure it out. They are worried. They are panicking. We see it in some shots. We see it. They need to figure something out. IGL Evan tonight needs to take over, needs to develop a new game plan. Or Coach Ben needs to hunker down, pull the reins back a little bit, and use his masterclass of coaching to help this team out. We're going to see some early presence A. Evan going to try and grenade jump out. We see door get open. He's going to throw her grenade in there. No kills yet. Evan just shooting a lot. Not finding anybody though. Does a jump peek. Does take some damage. Not too much though. He sees the ISO. He's going to throw the bomb drone. It saw ISO, but unfortunately it gets broken pretty easily. Trying to get a wallbang on the ISO. Can't find it. We have almost a full collapse onto A site. Looks like Colin is going to go and check out B. Lynn still sitting C by herself. We see ISO wall coming through. Omen smoke again. We see so much util getting used, trying to take this A site. Smite actually doing a pretty good job at making them waste all this util delaying. And we see a trade there from Eric. And Colin's going to go down quickly. Only a 4v3. Never mind a 2v4 as I talk. Caster curse. Unfortunately, Evan going to go down to the Omen, who's still lurking A. If he needs to do something, needs to do it quick. The blind's going to come out. She just is able to get out of the way. We're going to see a jet smoke. We anticipate they're just going to run her down. Playing patiently, trying not to get killed here, trying to save her gun for the money. Very slowly. Wants to go up zip, but decides not to, and unfortunately whiffs on the KJ. Only 1 kill that round. And ever since, realistically, the first round or 2, everyone has gone silent in kills. We see Jet there on the side of Esporterz with 9. Omen there with 7 as well. They need to turn it on. They need to be able to handle this Jet and this Omen. Now, that's not to say that Smite is out of it. Smite is not out of it by any means. We have seen very similar situations where Smite absolutely can find it in them to battle and bounce back. We saw it last week. We could see it again. We're going to see an ult come through on C. Lynn by herself does decide to back up. She does have Colin with her now. Going to see a lot of shots come through. There goes Phoenix wall. Lynn holding a good angle here. Eric in the KJ grenade. And the ult is going to find Lynn. Can Lynn win against the ISO? And unfortunately, Lynn whiffs her shots. Eric going to pick up the gun from her dead body. Eric and Colin. Eric gets sniped for the jumping, and Colin gonna go down quickly as well. This Jet is not to be messed with, ladies and gentlemen. She is feeling herself right now. Someone has got to find a way to stop their Jet. Right now, Esporterz feeling good, feeling confident. They are chilling to the maximum degree as they are up 6-0, and Smite cannot do anything to stop them. Looks like we're going to see a much more aggressive Smite team this round. Switching it up, we see the 4 push down A. We see a flank come through. They need to play this together. Doing a great job at checking corners. Can they find any? Evan finds 1, but it's a quick trade. Omen gets 2. so much util. Colin's going to swing first. He does have Eevee there to support him. Lin also on the other side of B. We could see an ult here from Lin to get a lot of intel. We have some fighting going on. We're going to see the Omen smoke. Don't know where he's at. Just going to find Eevee through the smoke. Lin going to go down as well. What a good flick from Colin, though. He finds two. And unfortunately does his best, but can't find the Omen. Very good, quick 2 kills there from Colin, but unfortunately not enough. Something that he's been wanting to work on is those negative situations when he's by himself and he's in a 2v1 or a 3v1. Does his best there. Unfortunately, though, gets caught out, gets jump scared by the Omen. Looks like Smite is going to go back to their little bit more of a patient game plan. Lin also sitting a little farther back than she typically does. Looks like we potentially saw someone A just as I clicked off there. Eevee finding one. Evan also shooting some shots. Evan gonna go down through the smoke. Eevee now just has to back up and wait for her team. This is not how you want to start. We're going to see the Phoenix wall. The enemy KJ is going to come through on C, I believe. Very interesting. Could see a C push. Looks like they are going to take control of C. We're going to see Lin as she is the closest. Let's see what she decides to do here. She's got two. Actually, she's got all of her teammates with her. Looks like 2 are going to join her going this way, though. Eric going to split push a little bit. Jet down. That's a good kill. We're going to see Lin's ult come through, giving them intel. They know where they are now. They just need to play this together. We're going to see Eric find one. Unfortunately, Eric's going to go down after. Eevee also going to go down. Colin also going to go down. We're going to see the ult come through from Colin, though. He needs to back up and find a kill quickly. Unfortunately, cannot find one. Lin all by herself in the 1v3. She is the clutch queen. She's done it before. And unfortunately, not enough time on the spike. She was able to find 1 kill, but just gonna save her Phantom. Ladies and gentlemen, Smite is rattled at this point. They need to figure it out. Coach Ben, though, still fully trusting his team, trusting in his IGL. We're seeing this setup from Lin. We see a lot of pressure A early on. We're going to switch to Evan. Just misses that invuln shield. He's going to find the Jet. That's a great kill to start. Unfortunately, Evan there can't find a second, but does get a good bit of damage. We're going to have Colin come through the same area. Colin going to find one. Unfortunately, there gets caught out. Lin going to go down there as well. Eric does find the kill on the fade. Just the Omen left. This could be the turning point. Some good comms coming through from the IGL and from the Smite team. Eric and Eevee need to make sure that they're playing together. And unfortunately, finds Eevee. Eric, needs to clutch this up. This is something that we talked about at the very beginning of the game. He's on his debut. Can he handle the pressure of Smite? Spike goes down. He knows it's A site, but he has no idea where the Omen is. He needs to play this smart. He sees the Omen. He's patient. He doesn't shoot. He sees the Omen, and he gets the kill. And now he will defuse the spike. we talked about how crucial it was for Eric to come in and make a name for himself on the debut, ladies and gentlemen, and he's finally doing that. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if anyone's getting flashbacks, but I know I am. I am getting flashbacks from last week against Affinity. It is squaring up to be that way. Currently sitting at 8-1. Looks like we have some noise C. Gonna find Lynn. You're going to see the Fado come through. He's not going to find anyone. Lynn able to back up out of it. We have the team collapsing onto C site. Esporterz, though, have shown that they're not afraid to rotate. They make those decisions quick. Colin going to try and shoot through that Omen smoke a little bit. We're actually going to see Eric here use his ult. Let's see if he can find a kill with it. He needs to be aggressive right now. Colin able to find one with the classic. Evan able to find one as well. Eric missing some shots. Does able to pick up the kill. Is going to get the second one. And ladies and gentlemen, just like that, history may repeat itself. Some might call it a comeback, ladies and gentlemen. But me personally, it's never been a comeback because Smite's been here the whole time. Seeing very similar defensive setup. No noise being made yet. Got a comment on Colin with the Odin. A little bit of a surprising pick there for the gun. We do see Evan, though, get the successful rocket jump or grenade jump. I'm not totally sure what it's called, but it's like we could see some pressure on C site. Lynn just doing her best, playing super patient. No noise being made yet, though. Esporterz playing a much slower round, trying to throw off Smite, although Evan's going to find one. Looks like still a couple A. See if Evie can find a kill here. Get herself into the game. Spike is going to go down on C, and now we're going to see the full team rotate. This could be a crucial fight for Evie. We're going to see this ult from Evie come through here, even though Evan's going to go down pretty quickly. Evie going to get ripped out of her ult from the ISO ult and whiffs the shot. ISO going to pick up the kill. Eric caught out a little bit there, going through his wall. Caught from behind. He does find one, though. I would love to say Eric's got this in him, but unfortunately, in a 3v1 with 20 health, that's a lot to ask. And can't pull it through. Ladies and gentlemen, last round before the swap. History does in fact repeat itself. Looks like we saw Eric there on the operator. He was thinking about it, potentially there a no call from the IGL telling him to get rid of that. Looks like we have some noise A. We're going to find Evie. Going to take a couple warning shots. Doesn't want to give away too much information. Evan here going to take a couple shots as well. Shots through the smoke. Colin holding B down by himself. Same with Lynn for C. And we do see some pressure onto A. Evan trying to get a wall bang. We see the Omen smoke come down. Looks like Lynn could be fighting the KJ. Let's go to her real quick. Doesn't find anyone. A quick 2 go down on B site. Evan going to start to rotate by himself a little bit. Spike down B. He's going to find the ISO. He's going to take some shots through the smoke. See if he can kill anyone through it. There's no one else in it. Smoke's going to go right back up. Evan not being afraid of it this time. Going to check some corners. Evie also there with him. Now, unfortunately, gets caught out, shot through the smoke. Evie able to keep herself alive, though. And there goes Evie as well. Lynn by herself. And unfortunately, unable to find any shots on the Jet. I almost called the clutch queen there. Ladies and gentlemen, how does that classic saying go? For those who do not learn from history are doomed to repeat it. Well, Smite is in the industry of making history repeat itself. We saw the exact same score at the half last week against Affinity, and Smite turned it on and came back and won that game. Let's see if Smite can do it again. We see a lot of Uto coming out very early on to C site, trying to take this site quickly. Gecko gonna plant Spike. Spike is down. Playing all together, holding very well. Looks like Lynn's gonna back up, hold flank a little bit, gonna keep an eye on her cam. Evan going to go down quick. Eric also going to join him going down. Unfortunately, Colin missing. Evie missing. Lynn by herself misses the shot. And Esporterz is going to take the round. Coach Ben doing his best to calm them down. Surprised we haven't seen a timeout come out in this game. We saw Coach Ben use them last week, especially when he felt like he needed to. Maybe letting that up to the IGL a little bit more. Looks like we're going to see a rush to B site. No tomfoolery, no distractions. Evan gonna take point, gonna take a lead. Check in corners. We're gonna see that Omen smoke come through. We're gonna see a lot of shots come through, some smokes. Colin gonna go down quick from where we don't know. We see some ISO Muto coming through. Evan unable to find the ISO kill. Eric though finds one, but unfortunately gets flanked. Lynn now has to control this site by herself. The clutch queen. In the 1v3, and unable to do it. Ladies and gentlemen, if there has been a definition of living in someone's head rent-free, it is Jet living in Smite's head rent-free. Absolutely top fragging with 21 kills and 6 deaths. Omen right behind her though with 17 kills and 2 deaths. Smite need to do something, and they need to do it now, as they cannot lose any more rounds. They have to win out from here to put the pressure back onto Esporterz. We're going to see Evie take a lot of damage there from shots through the smoke. Eric, though, going to do a good job at finding one. And Calm's coming through. Unfortunately, Evie whiffing so many shots. Colin also getting eliminated. Evan finally being able to find the fade. Makes an Evie game, but Evan's going to go down quick. Same with Lynn. It is a 1v2, and Eric whiffs the shots. Esporterz, OPS, GG, ladies and gentlemen. And welcome back to us, ladies and gentlemen. Obviously not the result that Smite was looking for. We've seen him do it before. Unfortunately, not able to repeat history this time against Affinity. Don't really know what was going on. I think it was a little bit of a struggle for the game. I know Coach Bennett's talking to them about cooling down, keeping their heads calm, and once I get the green light, we will pull some up here for an interview, post-game interview. I know Smite has got to be feeling bad about that performance, got to be feeling defeated. They are not feeling good. Let's see if... And it looks like just as I get the okay, someone is going to come up here. Looks like it's going to be Evan, the IGL. He's going to lead the way. Here he is, ladies and gentlemen, the GOAT, Evan. Evan, talk to me a little bit about that that performance.
That match.
That match, yeah.
So it was a little bit rough in the start. We had a couple of new people just trying to learn how we synergize with each other. And then about halfway through, it started comms again lackluster. Everybody started getting a little bit more negative. It was just morale was getting extremely low.
Mm-hmm.
As you can see, the game didn't go in our favor.
Absolutely.
But you can't win them all.
Yep. So I want to talk to you. Recently, you've been taking a little bit more of that IGL role, something you've been showing off very well. With that 5th seat of Smite being up for grabs, you guys rotating a couple of people in and out of that. What are you doing to maximize that person's potential, whoever is playing in that 5th seat?
I tried to play with him a couple of different rounds to see how he played with me and just his comms, overall game sense, stuff like that. Just instinct is really, really key.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he did pretty well. No complaints.
Yeah, absolutely. Eric making a little bit of a name for himself on the debut, getting a couple crucial kills, I believe clutching out a round for you guys. So definitely something you want to see out of a potential future teammate, especially if he is the full-time regular for that 5th spot. Evan, a lot of potential tournaments coming up for you guys. What are you guys doing to work continuously, get better for these future tournaments?
I'm just trying to play the game as much as I can. Trying to get the aim down. Aim felt ridiculously shaky tonight. I mean, you saw that last round. That was the only time I felt it. That last shot in the Omen was the only shot I was like, oh my gosh, I figured out what I was doing wrong. And it was just too late for that, as you could tell.
Absolutely. We saw there, obviously not the performance we were hoping for. Is there anything you want to say to the people, to the world, to let them know that you guys are not out of it by any means and you guys are coming back?
No, we'll be back.
They'll be back.
It's not over yet.
Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here first. Smite, not out of it by any means. They're coming back with vengeance.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Thank you so much for your time up here, Evan. And I typically congratulate you on a win, but I can't do that this week. So keep working hard. Keep grinding.
Congratulate on our 2 rounds.
Yeah.
That was a Div 1 team. I mean, 2 rounds is 2 rounds.
Yeah, that's true.
I'll take it.
Yeah. You guys will keep grinding. You'll get better. We look forward to seeing you guys in the future. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. The next interview, don't know who it's going to be. Looks like it's going to be Eric, the 5th man, the man on the debut. Eric, talk to me a little bit about some of the upcoming pressures that you face tonight joining the Smite roster.
Definitely a lot different from what I usually play when playing at home. I mean, there's a wider variety of rank ranges, so everyone has different skill sets compared to at home where everyone on my team is about the same.
Mm-hmm.
So it was very different. Like some of the things that I would commonly notice when come out, I would have to calm.
Yep.
That is just, and there was some stuff that people were calming that I had no clue. So it was a bit confusing, but it was a nice experience.
Yeah, absolutely. Making your debut tonight on that roster, How does it feel to know now the kind of pressure and that you are able to hang in with players of this skill level and this ability?
It's really, there isn't much pressure. I mean, it's just like I know I have potential to get better, but I also know that it's all up to if I put in the time for it.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, making the debut, wanting to fill this spot, wanting to fill that 5th spot on Smite full time, I presume, from your perspective. What are you doing as an individual to make sure that you're keeping your name in that fight?
I mean, mainly I play duelist normally, but also making sure I know how to play initiator, because we're at that point where it depends on some maps we would run duelist or 2 initiators. That just being able to play both, because it could come up to chance that maybe one map we play on Ascent and we have flashes but we need a Sova, or if we play on here like we did on Lotus and we have Raze, we may also need a Phoenix.
Yep. And finally, is there anything based on your performance tonight that you as an individual are hoping to continue to improve on to make a name for yourself on the Smite roster?
Just getting along with the team more. It was a little confusing understanding who was talking, because new people that I really haven't talked with and interact much. So there was a lot of confusion on figuring out who was calling out what. I would usually just go off of where Raze and Gecko were, because usually they were the 2 ones that were making the plays.
Yep. Well, absolutely. Thank you, Eric, so much for your time up here. And I look forward to hopefully seeing you more on this Smite roster, and hopefully some better results in the near future to come. So keep working hard, keep grinding, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the future.
See ya.
Thank you so much. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Looks like it is going to be Evie is my next interview. Here she comes. No mystery to the booth. Evie.
Hi. Guys,
You know,
it was not
we're
a good game.
we're gonna
It
be
was not a
blunt,
good
Evie,
game.
you know.
We're gonna be blunt. I did bad.
We saw some struggle coming through on your side. Talk to me a little
For
bit
sure.
about how you're feeling after that.
Horrible, bro.
Of course.
I got 1 kill. But it was just a really off game for me, I guess. It happens to every gamer. Just a rough game in general, bro.
Yeah, absolutely. We saw, especially comparing last week to this week,
Right.
kept talking about potentially, repeating history. You guys wanting to come back from this same, if not a very similar score line.
Right.
Knowing you guys can do that, is there anything you're doing to help your team understand that you guys are not out of it and you can battle back from these styles?
Mentals for sure. Like, even though I had 1 kill, my mental was, like, still high. It's like, things can turn around. But, you know what? It was a hard game. From what I heard, a D1 team or a D3. It's just different. It's different playing against a higher rank,
Absolutely.
And especially when it's your off game. It's very frustrating, but overall.
Yeah, we saw a very different side of you this week compared to last week.
It happens.
Obviously, last week being very warm,
Right.
turning it on. This week being a little colder. At least not in the veins for Evie. Evie, is there anything you're doing as an individual to continue to improve to make sure matches like this don't happen that often?
More warm-up time for sure. For some reason today I was just moving and shooting a lot. I don't know what was wrong. I don't know. I'm gonna blame it on rank reset.
and finally, Evie, with the future of some big upcoming tournaments for you guys,
Right.
is there anything you guys are hoping to kind of hunker down on, to keep working on as a team to make sure you're prepared for those tournaments?
Definitely just making sure we're, obviously, like I said, fully warmed up, and then we're also playing as a team. Definitely listening to our IGL. I think we had some struggles with that tonight, as Evan was our IGL, who did a really good job at IGLing tonight. We had some struggles. Definitely, we haven't played against a team like this before, so it was new. We're going to learn from our mistakes for sure.
Absolutely. Well, Evie, thank you so much for your time up
Of course,
here.
thank you.
Appreciate you coming up here and chatting to me a little bit.
Of course, anytime.
But keep working hard, and I look forward to seeing you back in the future.
Thank you. See you.
Thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen. And here comes my GOAT, Coach Ben. It's going to be interesting to pick his mind, ladies and gentlemen. Here he comes. Coach Ben, how we doing?
Gentlemen, how we doing? We're doing all right over here. How we doing, Coach Christian?
I'm doing all right. Coach Ben, Talk to me a little bit about that Smite game.
Yeah, man. Going into it, I let the kids know that this is definitely going to be one of our tougher matchups. This team competes, I want to say, in Div 2 or even Div 1. So, whole Div to 2 divs above us. Their team average was Diamond in terms of their peak. They had an Ascendant 3 on their team. So, definitely a way better team in terms of just experience and rank. So, I wanted the kids to go in it just trying not to stress out as much. I let them know it is going to be a tough game and to just try out and go out there and do their best.
Yeah, absolutely. And we talked a little bit before practice, and I know you guys are prepping for some big tournaments, none of which that I spoiled. So absolutely, if you want to take the time to announce that, you're more than welcome to do that. But with the prep of those tournaments coming up, what are you doing to make sure you guys are ready for those tournaments?
Yeah, I mean, one of the biggest things with this tournament that's coming up is, what's different about here is I get to actually coach live to the kids and help them, in areas where they might start to stumble in their games. With this tournament coming up is I won't be able to do that. I will be able to call timeouts, make changes that I need to make, but that's kind of about it. I can't talk during the game, nothing like that. I'm more of a standard kind of esports tournament where that is the standard. So right now it's kind of getting them prepared to play on their own, play as a cohesive unit, and kind of make all the adjustments that we need into a team sense so that, when this tournament does come up, 2 tournaments coming up, we are fully prepared to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. And talking about not talking as much, something that I've been experimenting with the Rocket League team as well, of course, we'll hopefully also be competing in that tournament. What kind of things are you keeping an eye out for in that role of not listening so much? That way, when it is time for you to come in and talk, whether that be a timeout or in between rounds or whatever, you're giving as much good advice and feedback as you can.
Yeah, it's going to be really reliant kind of on the IGL. Again, the IGL's main role, as you've probably said many times on stream, is you are directing and taking control of the game and directing your teammates and helping them with basically everything, to emotions, to mental, to mechanics, everything like that. So a lot of it is going to be reliant and focusing on our IGL specifically, make sure they are prepared as possible. And as soon as, that understanding is kind of coming across between us two and we're kind of on the same track, it is then going to be making the adjustments mechanically that we need to make within the team.
And finally here, I got to ask about him. We saw Eric make the debut on Smite tonight. I know, obviously, overall, not the game we were hoping for, but based on his performance, how are you feeling about him?
Yeah, Eric did great for his first time competing in Valorant on a team and playing on a team like Smite. It went great. No complaints at all. He definitely, he came in, fit the role that he needed to fit, and he did phenomenal.
Yeah, I could see a little bit more of a full-time fit for the Smite team, something I know you guys have been experimenting with. Well, thank you, Coach Ben, so much for your time up here, and
thank you.
I'll let you get back to it, as I believe
Alrighty.
Nitro might still be in their game.
Yep, they
okay,
are.
shout out
Alrighty.
Nitro.
Shout out Nitro.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, not going to be able to switch feeds to turn into that Nitro game. So I can't really give you guys many updates on that. Let's see, Coach Ben, can you give me an update for the people of the Nitro game? You're leading? Okay, so currently getting that update. It is 4-7. The Say Las Vegas team is currently winning that game, but Nitro not out of it by any means. So, ladies and gentlemen, a very quick night, but that's going to do it for us here at Valhalla and Camp Hill. Actually, before I close it out, we're going to go to break real quick. I'm going to check on something, and then I will come back and potentially close it out. So, guys, give me literally like 30 seconds. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, just checking to see if we wanted to keep the updates rolling for you guys of the Nitro game. We are going to go against and not do that. So with that being said, everyone, again, thank you guys so much. Look forward to Monday Fortnite duos, where of course we will have our intern casters, Evie and Evan, making their return to the booth to cast. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. From myself, Coach Christian, Coach Ben, Coach Kyle, and Andrew, and all of us here at Valhalla and Camp Hill, thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you on Monday. Good night, everybody.